some of the things that I want to cover today's lesson is just the fact that it comes back to how I was taught from Bagua, Chinese sort of Wushu Bagua system. We're going to go back and look at the offering hand. So students of mine have been looking at the offering hand technique. We've been typically doing it on a flat stance, so we're working on this principle here. You can see this in a lot of systems. It's a very generic movement, blocking system either to the outside or to the inside of an extended arm. In Bagua, and why I want to cover it today is because although a lot of martial arts have seen this movement and have this movement, because I've started and my journey started with Wushu, so I will go back and sort of explain it or understand it as my point of origin being in Bagua system. Not that I want to be disrespectful to any other styles. So getting down to it, we have Bagua system where we do this, which is just the formation of stepping through, and we have an offering hand. We can do it off both, we can come back, we can go through to the other side. So it's a very fluid movement. So just to demonstrate this, if I just ask Chris to step forward, if Chris takes out a jab hand, just go just a little diagonal. So if Chris comes out with it, this is all we're doing here. Okay. So it could either go to the outside of the arm, or we could hook in from the inside of the arm, just depending. So it's again just keeping the form of offering hand. Important is the rear hand guard station, so that there's always a backup. So in a Chinese Bagua system, this would be the one hand exchange. So you go into 1, 2 from here. So just keep a note of the rear hand block. Boom. So where we have Bagua, we also have the addition of the first movement, which would be this. So we're looking for a strike into the lower quadrant. So it's together. Timing of it would be together and then land with the movement. Okay. So in certain systems, and again how I've taught it, in certain styles you would see just the hand movement being taught first, and then the introduction of footwork or a foot juro or foot technique, which would be an inside strike. It could be typically in other martial arts we would see this strike to the front leg or to go through to the rear leg. All applicable, just sees on what the opportunity is. So straight through with this one. So today we're just going to look at this Bagua movement here. Nice and simple. We're going to keep it simple again and traditional in the sense if we right crosses from here, we're just going to change now and go with the other hand. There are systems that will allow this movement to occur from the same offering hand, will come down and work again. So it just remains intact here. And you could go into an offering hand. We won't touch on that, we'll just go right back to basics and get both hands working from here. I'm not going to use the foot one for now, but we're going to develop that. So just looking at the offering hand, the first system of Bagua, 1 and 2. That's all. The other thing I want to cover today as well is understanding movement, because in a lot of martial arts we talk about relaxed movement, whether or not it's to focus or to get the most out of internal energy, rather than a tense muscular punch that would, not being disrespectful, we see in boxing, this muscular driving thing and then the skeletal system reinforcing it. Not brilliant, because you're all tense, so from an energy point of view you're not really getting a lot out of it, you can't really apply energy. If we look at it in another extreme, we have a soft pushing punch. I would like people to understand this theory, if they haven't heard it already, is that the hand, or whatever you use as a strike, whatever you extend with, trying to keep it as a generic explanation, we don't recoil and then go forward. So we don't sort of do this. As if I keep my hands here and then my body turns and then I use that, it's not. It's kind of being at the back end of a wave. You need to be at the front end of the wave. So what I mean by that is, as one hand extends, your body will assist your forward movement, or whatever movement you're doing. So if I do an uppercut here, my hand goes up and my body will then assist it. So we don't want to create this confusion where my body is pulling back and then going in. We want to have confidence, clarity in our training that if I punch here and I extend, then my body will assist with it. The other point to bear in mind is when I talk about my body assisting it, it should be relaxed like I am walking. So in a punching aspect, as my hand goes forward here, then my body is just going to relax and assist it as easy and as fluid, as natural as walking. So when we look at doing the offering hands, so we go here, I want you to be clear about what you're doing, not worried about what your body needs to do to assist it or set it up. My hand is going forward, my body will just naturally just assist it so that you neutralize, absorb his pressure, so you don't just sort of hit and it's clash on clash. You want to relax at this point so you can absorb that energy and it will naturally then dispel. So you can punch quite violently. If you are violently resisting it with your block, it's going to give you a lot of damage. So if you relax and let your body take it, it goes back into the person that's rigid, and that hopefully should be your opponent. But more so than ever, you reassure yourself that it's not going to cause damage to you. So let's give that a try. Fantastic.